All right, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Long time no here. It's been about a week since I've made a video. My name is Chris. This is my channel, We Love Comics. If you live or know about the Florida area, we experienced what was supposed to be a hurricane, but it turned out to be a very mild tropical storm. But we prepared for it nonetheless. And after that, just have other things I was doing, and I just wasn't feeling making videos. Maybe it was just giving myself a week off. So I want to thank the people. There were two people that left me some messages to ask how I was. So the two people that were concerned after not seeing a video for a week or so, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to try and get back to a regular schedule, making some comic videos. Because this one is one that I was supposed to put about a week ago, where you guys get to pick the comics that get sent to get graded each and every month, because I send 4 comics to PGX to get graded each month. I've been doing this over 3 years now. Whether you use PGX or not, that's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to use, but if you look in the description of this video or any video, if you decide that you want to give PGX a try or use them, again, if you use the code We Love Comics Free Press, if you send 10 comics or more to get graded by them, you can get one of them pressed for free. And also, thanks to Daniel Patterson listening to my advice, they put now you can have the grader's notes put on the back slab for a $5 fee for each one, if you want them. Obviously, if you want to just get them for free, you can have them email them to you. But I like having them on the back of my comics. If you do, that's a good feature to add. Now this week, or this month, I'm going to be sending in, of the 4, I'm picking 3 of them. So you guys are going to vote on the last one. So if you go after this video to the community section of my page, you will see right after this video is uploaded, I will post it where you get to vote. There will be 5 comics. I'll show you them. I'll tell you the significance. I'll tell you what I paid for them and things like that. But the top 1 will be sent to get graded this month. So you guys are going to really have to make your votes count, because many times I've done it where you pick 2 of the comics or 3 of the comics. This time you get to choose one of them, so the top voter that you guys pick will be the one getting sent out. Now, one of the books I am going to be sending with the 3, and I'll show those, is in this box that I just got. So I'm actually glad I didn't post it last week, because I didn't think I was going to be able to win this. This is a modern grail, and for the price I got for it, I cannot complain. So I am absolutely getting this sent to get graded. So come into the live chat if you haven't, and like I said, I will post that. It won't be in the community section until after this video is all done. So if you check the community section right now, it will not be there. It will post right afterwards. So even if you're not subscribed to me, come and join the live chat. It's always fun to see people's comments and everything. I may be doing an auction again soon, so we'll see about that. But this is an unboxing video first, and then I'm going to show the books that I am going to send to get graded, and then you guys, I'll show you 5 books that you could pick one of those, which one you want to see get graded. And it's basically a way for you to be more than just a viewer of somebody's videos. You actually, your vote can determine what I do. So it's a way to get more involved. So I've been doing this now for about 4 or 5 months, and people seem to like it. So we get at least 300 to 400 people voting each month, and the voting will be available up until the last week of this month. Obviously, we'll tabulate and we'll see what gets picked. All right. So with that all out of the way, 3 people have hit the like button. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate those in the live chat. Let me put on the video camera so we can first do the unboxing. This is one of those comics where I keep trying to tell people, because I haven't been buying a lot of comics lately. Priorities have changed a little bit for certain things, but I still have the ability to get comics, but I'm waiting for really good deals. And this is one of them. This is one I probably, depending on the grade it comes back as, I'm going to make, I can't say a killing. I mean, if it comes back at 9.8, I could absolutely make a killing on this. But it's a modern grail that I probably paid half of what it's worth now. And this individual character is going to be having a TV show and is most likely going to have a lot of screen time in future MCU movies. So this book is on the rise, and that's one of the reasons why I tell people, if you're going to buy comics for speculation and investments, and a lot of people that watch my channel do just that, because when I do the speculation videos, they get more views than any other videos I make. You want to try and get good deals, and you want to get the comics that are on the rise, not the ones that are at their peak, ready to fall. You know, you don't want to be buying, you know, the first appearance of Captain America lifting Thor's hammer right now, Thor 390, because it's not going to be worth much. I mean, if you want to buy it now, now's the best time to get it because it's cheap. But if you're thinking that's an investment, I mean, a fool and their money is soon parted. That's why I would warn people about those. And that's why if you've ever seen any of my auctions, you'll notice like 99% of the books, maybe even 100%, are books that are on the rise or have not reached their peak yet. So this is one of those books. They wrapped this really well. I made a deal with this person. This person at first did not accept my offer. And then I told them, you know, I'll pay for it right away. This way you don't have to wait. And they ended up, they bought. Well, I bought, but they took. Okay. All right, so it is legit. Let me just take a look. And this will be getting sent to be graded. He said it's a 9.6 to a 9.8. There is a little dent, but it does not break color. He did mention that. All right, so this is one of the books that I am sending it graded. I'm actually happy I got this. I had two of them. Both were sent to CGC years ago. Both got 9.8s. I sold one, which I regret, but hey, you know, you do what you got to do. And yeah, no Dell comic. This is definitely a must-own. And I want to show people the deals are out there. I'm going to put this in a different bag and board because it's sliding all over the place. Or did they... Okay, yes. They put it in another bag and board, so that's much better. Okay, so here is book number 1. We got Captain Marvel 17, the second print, which is the first appearance of Kamala Khan on the cover. And they do say this predates Marvel Now .1. There's like 600 different words for it. So this is her most valuable comic. Now, I was lucky enough to buy 2 of these years ago. I paid, I think, $46 for one and $64 for the other. And they both came back 9.8s from CGC. And I never even pressed them because that was before I even knew what pressings were. I still have one of them. But this book is going at a 9.8. I've seen people try and sell this for 10 grand. I've seen the average sale for a 9.8 sell for about 4 to 5 grand. And that's before they've had any real announcements or trailers, which means this book is going to keep going up. Now, he said it's a 9.6 to 9.8. It's definitely going to need a pressing to have that happen, but it does have that potential. He had this listed, well, he or she, I don't know, I'm just assuming. The eBay seller had this listed at $1,500. I went back and forth a little bit, and he accepted my offer way below the value of this book. Very happy that he honored it, and it wasn't some scam, because that's why I tell people deals are always out there if you're willing to make the effort. We agreed $900. Now, there was $13, like $14 in shipping, but his shipping cost him $23, so he didn't overcharge me with the shipping. The taxes got me. So it came out to $977 for this book. And Collector says, yeah, this is definitely not a $10,000 book. I agree, but hey, if it only takes one person to buy it to make it that value. I mean, look what people are paying for books these days. I mean, Ultimate Fallout 4s are regularly selling for $4,000 to $5,000, and the 1 in 25 variant, there's been between $15,000 and $17,000. So people may say, oh, that's not a $10,000 book, and I probably would agree with you with that. But like I said, it only takes one person that says, I really want that book, and they'll way overpay what the value is. I mean, there was a person that bought Fantastic Four number 49. I think they paid like, what was it? I think like $150,000 for that book at a 9.8, when the 9.8 value at that time was like $35,000. So you never know. But this book is going to continue to go up. So this may be not worth $10,000, but it's definitely worth the $977 that I paid for it. Especially if it comes back even at a 9.6. I will still do well, because remember, like I always say, do not base values on any investment on today or yesterday. Base it on where it's going to go. So I will ask you all, whether you're watching this live now or you watch it later on, this character, Kamala Khan, we know is getting a TV show. She is most likely either going to be in the Champions or in the Young Avengers, going through either phase 5 or 6. Who knows what phase they're going to utilize her in. But she is going to end up being a part of the MCU. So do you think her first most popular book is going to, A, go down in value, B, stay the same value, or C, go up in value? I'll leave that for you to decide. But I know how to invest when it comes to comics. So this, to me, is a no-brainer for that deal. So they had it listed for $1,500 plus shipping. I ended up getting them down. We talked a little bit back and forth, and I kept my word. I said I'd pay for it right away. As soon as they agreed and they came back with the agreement, I paid right away. We agreed on $900, and then with shipping and with the taxes, which is ridiculous that eBay is charging taxes for a comic book, it came out to $977. Even at that price, this is still, in my opinion, these days, well worth it. So that is one of the books that is going to be getting sent to be graded. Let me show you the other two, and you will see the theme that I'm going with this month. So the next one, this is a book I was telling people to get last year. This is Miss Marvel number 2. Now, most people missed the boat on this one because there's nothing significant about this book. There's no first appearance, there's no origin, there's no death. It is the cover that is what makes this book very desirable. It is the Molina variant, so it is a variant cover. This is a hard cover to get. I paid $518 for this book. This has 9.8 potential. Of course, there are no guarantees, so when I send newer books and I grade them, I say between 9.4 and 9.8 because you never know. But paying $518 for this book is already going to, I think, around double what I paid for it at a 9.8. And again, because it's Kamala Khan, when her time comes in the MCU and in the TV show, provided they do well, of course, that book's just going to keep going up. Yeah, love that bubblegum issue. It's just great, amazing artwork. This is another one. This is the third one, and then I'm going to show you the 5 books, and then you guys are going to pick one of them. This is one that I show all the time when I talk to people about, especially if you're new, or even people who have been collecting for a while. When it comes to grading companies, I can understand and appreciate why people have brand loyalty. I have never had brand loyalty because I want quality from the people that I deal with. And if a competitor gives me a better deal or a better product, I'm going to go to them. I'm not going to just stick with one, and no matter what they do, I'm going to say they're the best. They have to earn my business. I wish more people would think that way, but there are plenty of people out there that will climb onto any bandwagon. One of the things I highly recommend is you do your research to see what's good for you. Now, some will say, oh, well, you're always doing PGX. Well, I have plenty of books graded by CGC, and I've said it 5,000 times every time I make these kind of videos. I called back 3 years ago, I called PGX. Well, I emailed them, actually. Emailed PGX, CBCS, and CGC, and all asked the same question. I asked them the same question. If I made videos promoting your business, can I get a couple of comics pressed for free instead of being paid? CGC never responded. CBCS never responded. PGX not only responded, but the owner of the company, Daniel Patterson, gave me his phone number, and we've been talking off and on for years. That's why I deal with them. I've never really had any major problems with them. Now, are they a perfect company? Absolutely not. But one of the things I stressed about, and I do this with any business that I work with, I will not sign a contract. I will never want to be under any obligation to say something that may go against my belief system of a product or an idea or a situation and lie to you guys. Because you see it all throughout the news these days and all propaganda throughout the world. There are plenty of people who are willing to sell out to make money. I'm not willing to do that. So they allow me to be able to say things. If something's bad, I'm going to say it. But one of the biggest things is, I tell people all the time, don't just go by what's popular. Go by what works best for you, and you will always be happy. So this is another example of people that join a bandwagon and say a certain grading company is the best, when in this situation, it absolutely was not the best situation for this comic. I'll continue to take advantage of that and reap the benefits. It's another book I highly recommend. This is Champions number 1. This is the 1 in 100 variant. This is signed by Mark Waid. I wish it was signed by Alex Ross, because this is the Alex Ross 1 in 100 variant. First appearance of the Champions. Amazing cover. But I bought this, a CGC 9.8, so it already is confirmed. According to CGC, you can do no wrong as a 9.8. But as you can see, it has a green qualified label because this was not witnessed. CGC only does signature witnessing. So this book was already signed, and somebody, for whatever reason, maybe peer pressure or maybe because everybody tells them CGC is always number 1, again, and I've shown many examples of this, and I totally take advantage of it, they sent this in graded. Maybe they knew or maybe they didn't know. But CGC does not do signature verification. CBCS and PGX both do. So this was the wrong company to send this book. And because of that, I paid less than half of its value at the time I bought it. This book is going to be worth so much more. I paid a total of $515.20 for a 9.8 signed 1 in 100 Alex Ross variant of the Champions, who, as of now, have been, I will say rumored until something is actually official, rumored to be either a TV show or an MCU movie. And because somebody, for whatever reason, sent it to CGC, they couldn't sell it for the price that they probably were told that everybody said, well, not everybody, but most people say, oh, CGC always sells the best. Well, good luck getting a signed 9.8 1 in 100 Champions variant for $515. You're not going to find it. And if you do, grab it. But of course, like I say, because I will take advantage of people who just do not do their own due diligence and just follow the herd, I'm going to benefit from it time and time again. So that's one of the things I stress on my channel. I don't do fancy videos. I don't have fancy special effects. I don't have a green screen putting up all colorful, wonderful lights. You know, I'm not like treating you like a baby, like dangling a couple of keys in front of you to entertain you. I go straight facts. I tell people, make sure you do your research so you can benefit for yourself. Don't just follow the herd unless you trust that herd. But if you do it blindly, you better hope you know, as they say, you hitch your horse to the right wagon. So I don't tell people who to send their books to get graded. I mention PGX as an option if you want to use it, but I don't say, oh, if you don't use them, there's something wrong with you. Or, oh, you have to use them because they're the best. No, what I say is, make sure you do your research. There are different companies that will have different scenarios and different price ranges and different options and different features, different time constraints, etc. So find out which one works for you. Do you need the book quickly? Do you not have a lot of money to spend? Do you have a book that's already signed? These are things you need to factor in. But most people, unfortunately, instead of doing research, They just follow the advice of other people because they may be popular, or they may make very fancy videos, or they may be very likable, and you never know what kind of agenda somebody has. Because, like I said, I do not get paid by PGX. Yes, I get 4 comics a month sent to get graded. But, again, if they do wrong, I'm going to call them out on it. So, please, for your own sanity, not for your own safety, but your own sanity, research what you're doing. Don't just listen to the herd. This is why so many people are totally being corrupted by corrupt people these days, because they just listen to something and it regurgitates over and over again, and there's an old saying that says, tell a lie long enough it becomes the truth. People fall for it. Well, if it hurts you and you did nothing to protect yourself, whose fault is it? And who's going to suffer? So whether you listen to me or not, whether you make money or lose money on a book, doesn't affect me in any way. So I'm doing this with nothing to gain but to share knowledge. Because if you go through life without knowledge, you will never have power. People think money is power. Knowledge is power. Because without the knowledge, you can't get the money. And so on and so forth. So with that out of the way, those are the 3 books that I am going to be getting sent in to get graded. Now I'm going to show 5 books. And at the end of this video, go to the community section of my main page and you could vote for the one that you want to see get graded. Only one of these will be picked by you. The top one will get picked, so your vote will really count on this one. So make sure you participate. So this way you're more than just a viewer. Alright, so the first one. It's a book I have many copies of. I sold a couple on my auctions. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 316. But this is a newsstand variant. I would say it's around the 9.0 and up range. I'm not really going to go into a major grade until, if it gets picked, then I'll get into a deeper look at the book. But I only paid $183.25 for this book. So this is not a first appearance other than the first time he's on the cover. And, of course, Todd McFarlane art. But with a newsstand variant, this is definitely a book worth getting. I don't see any ticks along the spine. It does have a little bit of a crease along the spine, but that can be pressed out easily. You can still get a 9.8 on a book, even with those creases, if you get it pressed. So that's one of the things I recommend highly. Get your books pressed. There could be the difference of thousands of dollars between a 9.6 and a 9.8, or, you know, any other grade. All right, next up, I have several of these. I bought these years ago. This is a book I was telling people back when it was only phase 2, I believe, that this character was coming. Most people didn't listen, but that's why they're paying so much money for these now. I have probably 6 or 7 copies of this book. This is Submariner number 1. Obviously, this is not his first appearance or his first comic book, because he was back in the golden age of comics. But this is his first Marvel Silver Age solo comic. Definitely higher grade. I would say at least a 7.0 and up. Again, I will have to look into it if you select it. I paid a grand total of $75 for this book. It's one of the reasons why I tell people, if you're going to speculate, go early. I had some people that were giving me inside information that many people thought was, you know, I was full of you-know-what, and they laughed, and most people ignored it. How many books do I have to be right with before people start seeing that I kind of know what I'm doing? Doesn't mean I get everything right, but that's why I shared this information with people years ago. Speaking of which, this is one of them. Next book you can choose. I paid a grand total of $10 for this book. This is Ultimate Fallout 4. First print, first appearance of Miles Morales. I still have 2 others left that I have not gotten graded. I bought like 15 to 20 of these back in the days. I had so many, I gave some away. One of my subscribers who's talking about his kid just starting to get into comics, I sent him one for free with a whole bunch of other books. I won't say who it is, but if they want to acknowledge it, they're more than welcome. But this is another one that I got the information, and I know how Marvel was going and how the world was going and how they were going to get into more diverse characters. And I was telling people back when this is $10 to $12, buy them like there's no tomorrow. Most people didn't listen, but now people will spend $800, $900, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $7,000 for these books. It's ridiculous. Buy low, sell high. Everybody does the opposite, because when do most people buy? Not when no one cares about a book. It's when everybody wants it. So nobody was buying this. Well, I can't say nobody, but most people were not buying this book when it was $10 to $12 3 or 4 years ago. But now, if I was to put this on an auction tonight, which I'm not doing, by the way, if I was to put this in an auction tonight, I guarantee it'd sell for a minimum of $900. Probably go higher than that. And there would be multiple people that would want the book. See how that's not the way to invest? Now, even if you bought this for $900, you'd still make a lot of money, but you're going to make a lot more if you would have bought it years ago. This is not milk. It does not expire. That's why I bought them years ago. But if you think this should be sent to get graded, vote for that one. 2 more, and 12 people have hit the like button, so thank you for that. I always trying to give advice because I want people to think for themselves. I am not a channel where I have such a huge ego where it's like, you have to believe everything I say, and I'm going to tell you how to think, and even though somebody sponsors somebody, I'm going to just say something even if it goes against my belief system. I'm not going to do that to you here. I'm not going to BS you guys and gals. I'm going to tell you my thoughts. I'm going to share my experience. I'm going to give you my point of view. Whether you view it or not, or agree with it or not, is up to you. You're welcome here whether you agree with it, whether you like it, whether you hate it. But just think for yourself. That's a theme here. Next one up. I have about 3 or 4 copies. Actually, I have about 4 or 5 copies of this book. I was lucky to get one of them about 4 years ago with eBay bucks when they were eBay bucks for $23. I definitely paid more than $23 for this book, but I paid way under what it's worth. This, of course, is Batman Adventures number 12. Again, this is a high-grade book, minimum of a 9.0, if not higher. Again, I'm not really going to get into really checking it out unless you guys pick it. But I paid a grand total of $250 for this book. It's not a newsstand. I have yet to get a newsstand version of this book. I've seen them, but they have definitely been like 5.0s and lower. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on that. But this is definitely... Harley Quinn is here to stay. I was saying years ago, Harley Quinn is going to be a modern-day grail someday. May take another 10 to 20 years, and hopefully, knock on wood, I'll still be around. But hey, those books are going to continue to go up. Giuseppe says, do you think Ultimate Fallout 4 will become the modern-day Incredible Hulk? It's possible, because when I bought my first Hulkwin 81 when I was a teenager in the 80s, yeah, Hulk was popular, but his books weren't that valuable. I bought a Hulkwin 81 for about, I think I had a video where I had it written down what I paid for it. I think I paid under $200 for it. Oh, no, I think I paid $80 for it, as a matter of fact. And that was in the 80s. So I paid between $80 and $200. But I think it was 80. But even at 200, and it was probably at least the 9.0, if not higher. So most people will read that comment and say, well, there's no way. But if you're from my generation or older, you know for a long time those books were not very valuable. I mean, I bought what would have been a 9.8 Conan number 1 for $125. That's like a $10,000, $12,000 book now. So it's got potential, but she'd have to continue. He would have to continue to get into, you know, the movies and do live action and stay popular, and not be a fad. You know, you don't want to be like Jordache jeans that were really popular for a little bit of time. Now most people probably don't even know what Jordache jeans are, or Sassoon jeans. That's showing my age. So it's possible, but got probably another decade or 2 before it reaches that level. But once it does, it's going to shoot right up. Hulk 181 is a perfect example of that book. All right, so last but not least, and after I end this video, go to the community section, cast your vote. You will vote on one of these books, and the number 1 vote getter will be the one sent. So you guys have to really pick, and there's a lot of good books here, like this one, which is number 5. Last but not least, Werewolf by Night 32. This is my... I think I only have 2 or 3 copies total. When I moved here to Florida, I had to sell a couple of them, and some of them in high grade, because, you know, you have to sell some good comics to get money to be able to buy a house. So I couldn't sell a Raggedy Ann and Andy 14 to get my house. But this is a lower grade. I do not have the price. I think I paid around $350 for this book. But it's got some kid at some point drew all over the 25-cent and the 32 number here, all in ink. It's got some color break increases. This is probably a 3.0 through a 3.5. But again, for the price I paid and knowing that he's got a TV show on the way, this book is going to continue to be skyrocketing. If he becomes popular, you know he'll end up in the MCU. So I paid about $350 for this book. I was trying to sell this book at my flea market before it closed down for $495, and nobody wanted it. Obviously, I'm not going to be selling it for that anymore. As a matter of fact, I was selling one of my Ultimate Fallout 4s at my flea market. You know how much I was selling it for? $99. Now, if you know me, I only had the flea market. It ended last year, so that was only a year ago. You could have, if you went to my flea market, you could have bought this. It was in the regular boxes for $99, and nobody wanted it. I had many people take it out and looked at it and said, oh, $99 for that book? How many would kill for that book right now for $99? So it just shows that even I did not realize how valuable these books would get. I knew they'd go up, because obviously if I paid $10 and sold it for $99 at the time, I would have made 10 times my money approximately. But I'm glad no one bought it. That's how it goes. Alright, so those are the 5 books. Once this video ends, I will hit the enter for the 5 books. You can cast your vote. I hope you will cast your vote. So this way, like I said, you're more than a spectator. I want to thank everybody that's in the live chat. The 16 people out of the 33, so about a little bit of, around half of you were kind enough to hit the like button. Let's pick the surprise subscriber shout-outs. We're going to go with Cam Fluff Gameplay. You were the first surprise subscriber shout-out. And let's scroll back a little bit. See if the people are still paying attention. Robert Charles Manson. You are the second surprise subscriber shout-out. So what does that mean? You don't have to be a subscriber, first of all, to get the shout-outs. You don't even have to like the video, but I hope you will. But if you have a YouTube channel, you can post a link in the comments section to either a specific video or to your YouTube channel. If you'd rather post a link to one of your social networks, you can do that instead. Or if you sell something on eBay or Etsy or any of those places, and you want to share a link to one of your auctions or your sales, you could do that instead. I'll leave it up to you to decide which one. Just keep in mind that I have to approve the links first, so we get no spam or something that is inappropriate for viewers. So it will not show up right away. So I have to approve it. So that means if you're one of the people that browses the comment section, if you see a link, it means it has been approved for all audiences. So go give them a subscribe or a view or check out what they're selling. And let's help make this a community and not just a bunch of individual channels is doing their own thing, not really caring what anybody else does or says. So that's my opinion. That's my story. Those are my comics. Let me know what you think about them in the comments section. Do you think these are definitely worth sending? Do you think I got some good prices? Do you think I am on base with my speculations? And let me know if you have any of these yourself. So thank you for being patient with me. Like I said, it's been about a week since I've made a video. I appreciate this many people still watching. Thank you for hitting the like button, and thanks for coming to my channel. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. The voting is now available. Go cast your vote, and do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. So go pick which comic you think I should get sent out.